It sounds almost too good to be true. Walking away from an underwater mortgage and walking into an even nicer home. It's called the buy and bail. And while it may be legal, the question is it ethical? NBC Bay Area's Garvin Thomas has this story.
If you wanted to see for yourself just how bad California's housing crisis could get, you could do a lot worse than a trip to the Central Valley city of Patterson. They lived the boom. They were laid low by the bust. And now they are seeing a new, some say troubling trend in the world of real estate, the buy and bail, or as it's also called, the strategic foreclosure.
A strategic foreclosure is when someone owes so much more money on their home than it's worth, often hundreds of thousands of dollars. It makes financial, if not ethical, sense for them to buy a second comparable house at today's bargain prices, then just walk away from the first one.
The downside? A ruined credit rating for up to 7 years. It's a price, though, people seem willing to pay.
Is this going on right now?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Peter Kovacs is a mortgage banker and broker. Greg Noon's a real estate agent. Together, they have 30 years' experience in Patterson real estate. They say not only do they see this trend happening, they've been asked to participate.
Personally, it makes me sad and it makes me angry.
If they contact us, politely tell them, we're sorry, but we can't help you. We will not be part of the fraud.
Still, they say more and more people are doing it. Using publicly available records, we found this example. A Patterson couple bought this 2,300 square foot home in 2005 at the height of the market for $496,000. Real estate website Zillow.com puts the current value at just $160,000. That's a $336,000 hole. But records show in January of this year, that very same couple bought this even larger home, barely a mile from the first, for $245,000. Then, just 6 months later, a notice of default was filed for the first home, the first step toward foreclosure.
It's kind of scary because I would say 2/3 of the people in this neighborhood alone have done what I've done.
Ed Gonzalez says he did a strategic foreclosure, wiping out a $300,000 debt, yet coming out with a roof over his family's head. Gonzalez, however, says his was not a case of greed, but desperation. Due to an ill-advised loan, he was going to lose that first home no matter what. He tried negotiating with the lender for relief with no success.
I even spoke with the general manager of the company, of the lender, and he told me the same thing as one of the other associates told me was, if you have to do a foreclosure, then so be it. It was almost as if they were encouraging me to do that. It was frightening. I just couldn't believe it.
So he bought the new home and walked away from the first.
Strange, isn't it? But I had to do what I had to do.
But while there may be hardship cases like Gonzalez's, clearly many are not. An attorney in the Stanislaus County DA's office told us what those people are doing may be legal, but it certainly isn't moral. That sentiment is shared by others.
That promissory note says I promise to repay X amount of dollars under certain terms. It doesn't say I only promise to repay it if the value goes up and I make a fortune.
What's worse, they say, is that many are doing strategic foreclosures thinking there are no consequences. But one look around Patterson and what this housing crisis has done to it so far says otherwise. In Patterson, Garvin Thomas, NBC Bay Area News.
The district attorney tells us as long as a homeowner has not lied on any loan documents, the buy and bail is legal. As for the bank coming after someone who does this, if they're walking away from an original mortgage and not a refinance or home equity loan, then the bank has no recourse.